right, so I'll start by saying that this is my second time being at one of these amazing experiences, I should say. I've got two questions for you. One question is, last June, my father passed away. And since that time, I've been, how can I say it, seeing him kind of in a different light as far as, and this may sound strange, but finding pennies in odd places, like in a sunglass hardcover that pennies don't belong. And, you know, I was cooking at one time and found a penny that fell out of one of the mitts on the stove. So my question is that a vibration coming from him?
Yes.
Or is that a vibration of me going to him?
Both. His passing amplified your expectation, and your expectation in a different place allows you to find things. But it's not just that you're finding them, it's that they are being encouraged. There isn't anything that you couldn't describe in some other way, but they're not floating around in the ethers. It's not like that. But Jerry and Esther a few years ago were reading a foreword in a book, and the foreword was talking about abundance and how when you're focused on abundance in a way that allows it, sometimes there are signs like that. And suddenly shiny pennies started showing up everywhere, and it was absurd, the places that they would be. And Esther started accusing Jerry of planting them, but often they were out in public. It was someplace where it couldn't have happened. Eventually, one day, about 2 weeks into this fun that they were having, they got on an airplane and they were sitting in the bulkhead with the wall right in front of them. And as the plane was taking off, Jerry said to Esther, "Look down." And she looked down, and 2 pennies were standing on their end because of the thrust of the plane taking off. And Jerry said, "I'm so glad you were here with me to see that, because no one would ever believe it." And a nice thing, the more you experience and accept the message that it brings, then the more often it comes.
Right. And it's happened a lot of times, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
And another part of that question is, I was working with my dad. We own a real estate brokerage in Southern California, up in Orange County. And he had been in the business for 50 plus years and very, very successful. And he trained me, and I'm just starting to launch.
And did he teach you the value of taking care of details?
At a point. I'm a little bit more detail oriented than he is.
So maybe he's showing you those details then.
Correct.
There's something about that. It's about the ordinarily seeming unimportance of the penny that is really important. Doesn't matter how big or small it is, it's the subject of abundance. Yeah.
And a completely different question.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm starting to get back into, I did radio for 25 years, all over the country, and I want to start doing a radio syndication called the 80s Experience, and it's an 80s radio program that was very successful in LA. They had a change of management, and they let me go. And so I'm starting to relaunch that idea. And is there anything that, you can give me as far as advice on that?
Don't push against the old management.
Okay. I know. Right.
That's really all, because they didn't push you out, they freed you forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Having fun with it.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Really
it's a lot of fun. And because I was getting feedback from other people in the business that loved it, and then I was just kind of torn why that would occur, why that happened. I was really shocked, actually.
You got a minute?
Absolutely.
There's a piece of something that we think is worth talking about, and that is, we were talking earlier today about how things that are past are not forward. But there's a lot of what people would describe as nostalgia. There's a lot of what some might call centering and looking back at. And so you may want to take a unique approach to all of that, because while there is some value in finding a comfortable starting point, there is so much more now than then.
Right. very, very true.
There's no comparison to the potential. And so, as our friend asked earlier today about could her sculptures be bridges to help lift people into higher vibrations, that's exactly what this is about. You hook them in their familiar place, but carry them into current tense and show them where their true power is. You'll like it.
Okay. Because you're very correct on there's so many different ways I can approach that, and I just have to find a way that really works for me and for the people that would be listening to it.
So why does anyone listen to anything?
Based on emotion, usually.
And what are most people looking for?
An experience or a result.
It's attraction, even though they wouldn't say it, but they would say it, I'm looking for something interesting. I'm looking for something that grabs me. And in your world, you might call it a hook. You're looking for the hook that hooks them. But after you hook them, what are you going to do with them? That's what we're just suggesting. In other words, it's not going to be hard to hook them because they're out there hookable. And you're good at what you do and you know how to keep it going. And so it is entertaining and it is interesting. But every now and again, they'll find something that they didn't know they were looking for that they really are looking for. And then there is no ending to where that goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Have you heard us talking about segment intending? Yes. So segment intending is you realize that it's a new segment that you're entering into. Like it was a new segment when you came to the stage. It's a new segment when the seminar ends and you are on your way to your car. It's a new segment when you get into your car. So new segments all the time. And each new segment does ask for a different focus on your intentions, because you have different intentions when you're communicating with someone than you do when you're by yourself in your vehicle, for example. So it's really helpful to identify the segment and make some statements to yourself about what you want from the segment. So Esther's been segment intending for a very long time. When she gets into her car, she would intend that she would have a nice drive, and she would intend that it would be comfortable and safe, and she would intend that traffic would be kind to her, and she would intend those kinds of things. And she usually has very nice drives. The traffic and the weather is very good to Esther because she's been asking it to be for a long time, and it just is because she expects it to be. But recently, as she was contemplating segment intending, we said to her, in the spirit of it, something that we'd been saying for a while, you want to get out ahead of it, you want to get out ahead of it, you want to get out ahead of it. Well, segment intending is, in a sense, getting out ahead of it. It's saying, I'm going to be over there, and when I get over there, I want it to be this way and this way and this way. But in the true spirit of attraction, isn't the preparation for that segment really happening in this segment? If you're really getting out ahead of it, then isn't it affirming good things now that is the best preparation for the next segment? Think about it. So that got Esther's attention, and so she began thinking, putting into the terminology, I feel, because feel, emotion, is the best indication of vibration, and vibration is the point of attraction. So she would say, I feel happy. So she identified maybe how she was feeling or how she wanted to feel, but she was identifying the feeling of happy, identifying it, and then isolating it by just kind of looking around her current now for obvious things of happy. This is a beautiful room, by the way. So beautiful in so many ways. There is a lot in this room that if you focus upon it, you could feel happy about. It's fresh and really clean. The sound carries very well. These baffles are intentional. The lighting is wonderful. It's not hard to find a reason to feel some happiness if you decide to. So I feel happy. I feel sure. I feel eager. I feel ready. I feel open. I feel alive. I feel eager for life. I feel sure-footed. So as she began saying those things, she discovered it was the best ever preparation, because now she's taking that good feeling point of attraction person forward in time, forward in experience. So she began thinking of it like, in this segment of intention, she was establishing a vibrational atmosphere, and then she and her atmosphere were moving forward and attracting from whatever was there what matched the atmosphere that she had accomplished. Not telling that person that they needed to be nice to her. Not nice people were irrelevant to her atmosphere. She had lighted her light board in a way that when she stepped into wherever she was stepping, it had to be good to her, because anything that wasn't good to her wasn't active in her, because she'd taken care of that in advance. You see what we're getting at? Since it's attraction, 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 then anything you can do to prepare your point of attraction is a good thing. What we're getting at? And that's why for most people, things don't change very much, because they let what has been happening or what is happening be the reason that they offer a vibration, and then they just take it into the next segment and the next segment and the next segment. So the world and life and people and things and thoughts just keep coming to them according to what they've got going on. But you can change that. You don't have to think about what has been, and you don't have to think about what is. But it is a mastery that requires some practice. But once you get the hang of this a little bit, you had that going on. You had that going on. And we love that you have that memory of having that going on when it was easy for you. You can do that again.